Hello and welcome to the very first AGML podcast of Madden 21. This here is the very first mock draft of the year. You know, we all love them. Mock drafts are, probably some of the best content for the people because they're actually useful. Uh, I'm pretty sure I've made people change their picks based off of stuff I've done, so, it's useful. Today I am here with Alex.
Hello?
This is Falcons Alex, in case,
Yes, now Falcons
yeah,
Alex.
we're not used to this. And then we also have Josh,
Hey, what up, everybody?
and this is Chargers Josh, not Dolphins
And
Josh.
Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Miami.
Well, I mean, no, they're the same.
Yes.
They're one and the same.
Persona.
Sure.
This is the
I have my
Chargers.
jersey on my coach.
yes.
For sure. And as always, I'm Tyler, now Seahawks, formerly Buccaneers. It's gonna be weird not being the Buccaneers for a hot minute. That was my identity last year, the whole last year, so gotta get used to not being the Seahawks now.
New team, new you.
Of course. And I think there's nowhere else to go now but to start from the top of the list. First
The
pick,
winner of the Super Bowl.
we have Cody the Lions. Now, probably should preface this. There's probably gonna be a few times I will mess up the team name. Like I'll be like, oh, Cody, that's Sam, or Lions, that's Sam, just because my brain's not developed.
Hasn't gotten used to the new team names.
Has
and the
nothing
new
to do with
people.
we're on a brand new Madden with new team.
No.
That was my bad. I messed up a little, but it's okay. Blames Apple. Shoot. Yeah, blame Apple. Gotta restart the Discord so the people can hear. There we
Tyler
go.
might have disconnected.
There we go.
But that's
Can
okay.
you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, they wouldn't be able to hear you there because it's my side. They don't hear the Discord. They hear the Discord through mine.
They didn't hear me apologize.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Could be right.
That was because I accidentally hit the Siri button. That muted my whole computer and ruined my Discord.
Siri?
So
How do I change people to think with me?
and I've never used Siri once on the laptop. Whatever. Need to stop digressing. My brain is regressing by the second.
Yes.
You must be a wide receiver in your late 20s.
But yeah, Cody.
Yes.
Pretty.
Did the tank. Traded
It was a
off as
good
many
tank.
people as he had. Had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hope you're enjoying fatherhood, Cody. I don't know if you had a kid.
I mean, he's already been. This isn't his first.
This isn't his. Okay.
No. He's a farmer.
He's a farmer. You don't have to be lonely. At farmersonly.com.
Stardew Valley fave.
Yeah, he's a Stardew Valley farmer.
But with the first overall pick, all three of us, I believe, have him going the same player.
Yep.
One of the Penn State deadly duo, Dylan Lawrence.
Yeah, Dylan Lawrence. It's not even a question. I mean, it's a little bit of a question, but not.
It's a preference.
If you prefer your quarterback to be 231 pounds, go Ben Volt. But
yes,
if you prefer the heavier guy, go 234 Dylan Lawrence.
I agree. I mean, I like my guys a little bit chunkier, but so I think here Dylan Lawrence and that slightly better accuracy is where you go. You take a little less. That 3 pounds puts on takes away a lot of athleticism.
It does take away a lot of athleticism.
those 3 pounds matter a lot here. But yeah, those I think that athleticism is made up by the accuracy buff or just being that much better. So while Bowles is gonna be good and they're both gonna go uh pretty early on, no spoilers, but um, yeah, I think Lawrence is just Okay, not gonna lie, quarterbacks are pretty.
Those extra 3 pounds are all in his arm. All in the arm. That's where the accuracies come from.
I actually have a confession to make. I don't like talking about quarterbacks that much in mock drafts. I don't think they're particularly interesting.
Well, we're gonna move on to your least favorite position at 1.2, where we have the Ben Bowles going second overall.
Quarterback Ben Bowles out of Penn State.
Now, this is interesting. Now, Penn State named Ben Bowles their starter for the season, but they use both of them. And obviously, Ben Bowles is the more athletic player.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that could have contributed to him being named starter for Penn State?
I think just he makes more sense for a college ball. I think with that athleticism, But I think in the NFL, that athleticism does get mitigated.
I mean, you have the top 1% of offensive line in front of you. Do you really need to roll out?
Right.
In the days of old, Russell Wilson was a mobile quarterback because he had no O line.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 20 years past
no one has
Wilson's prime. 15 years past Russell Wilson's prime. So, I mean, the athleticism could work with the league being deficient in offensive linemen. But even at the college level.
And yeah, I mean, again, quarterbacks, it's like a lot of it's hard to judge them in Madden on this draft board
until you see them.
Yeah, like there's that quarterbacks more than almost any other position have that. I don't want to say X factor because in Madden,
they're the player you pay the most on your team every time.
Right.
I mean, they're the people who get the ball, who get the offense running.
But like that intangible, like there's in Madden, quarterbacks have those intangibles that you can't see on this draft board. It's like they eat like some quarterbacks can look beautiful on paper, don't turn out. And yeah, I think.
Are you calling it now? Ben Bowles, the Ryan Leaf of AGML?
I'm not saying either. Like they could maybe Lawrence is Ryan Leaf.
I can think Lawrence has the accuracy for the NFL game, and it just concerns me that Bowles was ranked higher.
Sure.
Was Bowles better learning the playbook? Was Bowles? I want to know more about the coaching decision there at Penn State. But.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Either one, I think both people will be happy with whatever they get here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting quarterback in year 2 or in year 2 here, you love it.
Yeah, this is Tato, I believe, right?
Colt?
Yes. Colt's a Tato.
Yeah, Tato.
Yep. I think Tato has a better offense than. Oh, no, I guess no. I would say Lawrence does actually come into a slightly better offensive position. I like their offense more.
It'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Sure. Anyways, enough quarterback talk. That might be the last time you hear about quarterbacks for the rest of tonight, so got that out of the way. And now, why the people came. Oh, I hope you came. This is like why I like this draft. With pick number 3. This is our first non-complete consensus pick, but the position is consensus. I think here, if you're the Cowboys, you gotta take the first shot at one of these receivers. There's so many of them, like that.
Hey, you can't go wrong here. You're getting a top tier player.
Like they're all fairly viable receivers. Now there are probably some tiers. And as we'll see here, I think we have a little bit of a difference in who's better. Alex and I have Solomon Hurd.
I feel like I'm getting attacked with the way you said that. And I have Arizona State physical wide receiver Khalil Price going here. He's Mr. Too Good for Combine.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. Like, it's like Hurd is definitely a safer. Like, they're pretty comparable. Like, not comparable in like skill and assets. Like they're very
They're both
different.
great. They're both early first talents from the draft. For sure.
Right, but it's just like I think
I think Khalil's attitude of I don't need to do the combine. Teams know what they're getting from my team. And I think that's the attitude that I like from my what would be the Cowboys wide receiver one, I believe.
You want a diva? You want a TO?
I do. I believe you want that physical receiver from a relatively smaller school. Arizona State's not a big school. It's not a small
it's a
school.
party school.
And I mean,
Gronk,
Gronk
and like full. Wait, no.
I mean, Khalil Bryce is
Foles
first
Yeah,
round.
Foles came from ASU.
Yeah.
Early first for stacked wide receiver class. And
I feel like
that's a
Foles
party
and
school.
Gronk are probably dead in this universe.
Um,
Gronk's probably dead.
That took a dark turn.
Dang. I
Like,
mean, yeah. So like Tyler kind of hit the nail on the head with why we chose Hurd. It's just the safer combine pick. You get the better complete picture. Yes, Price comes in with better hands, but Hurd has just pretty much as good as hands, but with just a little more extra readiness for the NFL game in terms of smoother route running and stuff of that nature.
But yeah, I like Price too. Probably we'll hear about him again shortly. Not just a little hint. Next up we have no other one, the Ravens. And here's another pick. That's interesting. You guys are probably more realistic than I am.
This one for you, Tyler.
But I picked a YOLO. But I like the YOLO pick. For me, I have to go. As weird as it is, and much as a raw kind of reach, like talent-wise, I don't know if he's as good as some of these players around him out of the gate. But long-term, and just like potential, like Bernard Stort, defensive tackle, so like he's one of my favorite players. Just seeing this combine and how raw and but amazing he is. He's first in every defensive tackle combine position, or in the yeah. So like, he's not only the fastest DT, he's also the quickest and the strongest, and he can jump if you want that. And maybe get some batted balls. He'll just jump over the line.
And with Alex and I pick another player who can jump fantastically, Steve Edison out of Alabama. That's who I have That's who I have. No other one going here. I'm personally a sucker for anybody who can catch the ball, so that may have influenced my pick a little bit. But say you're a defensive tackle, and how many downs will it take you sacking a quarterback to get the defense off the field? Free. You have to sack quarterback 3 times. If you're a corner, if you pick the ball off that first down, you just did your job. And with Edison's play recognition ability, his speed, his vertical agility, I think he'll be that ball hawk for for the Ravens defense. I mean, I'll agree.
Steve Edison has flashes of Deshaun Royal to me, where he's just such a game changer.
And he played wide receiver in high school. You can't go wrong here.
Sure. My biggest thing, I don't know, just I can't trust him in every coverage from what I know. We know he's good at man. We don't know his zone ability. And Madden will call zone, even if you don't
he's a shutdown. I mean, he's a shutdown corner for sure.
So
he's a guy that
that's my biggest concern with him. But if you can develop that a zone at least to be passable, then yeah, I think this is 100% worth the pick here. Next up, we have Sip with first of 2 picks, really going full rebuild, really quick, which I like. The few teams really committing, I thought. And I mean, it's not that hard to do that when you got three nice quarterbacks that are good in their own unique ways, able to be traded away. Um, Here I have Sip going, who Josh picked 3 overall, Price. And I mean, we already talked about Price a bit. Price, while you don't know his combine, he's really good at catching. He's big.
Mm-hmm.
He can catch. Uh, just yeah, you don't know what, like, if he can put that physicality like to like its greatest potential based off of how good he is, like, at just quickness and speed and how
He might
strong.
not be able to get separation at
Right.
all.
He could be a Laquan Treadwell.
He could be
You don't
both
know.
hands.
Speaking on the play you guys had earlier at third, Solomon Hurd, the Cardinals run an air raid offense, which means you're going to have a lot of guys going deep, and you're going to have a couple guys going short. And I think Solomon's short route running is really what comes into play here, and his 4-second flat 20-yard shuttle. I think Solomon Hurd could be a real agile target for the Cardinals' Rookie of the Year quarterback.
For sure.
I think if you're drafting Solomon here, he's going to be the guy. You get him the ball, he's going to run up the field 5-10 yards, and it's going to be easy 15 yards every play.
Oh yeah. Solomon.
That's where we had him going through. Absolutely.
Yeah. Next up we have Zach.
Oh.
Now I know Zach's a big fan of the podcast, so I know for sure he's probably gonna end up listening to this. So shout out to Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
Shout out to Zach in the chat.
Subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. We already hit our threshold to be paid. Now we need to be paid again. So
Yeah.
please pay. With Twitch Prime, don't actually pay your real money if you have Twitch Prime.
His electricity bill begs of you.
Yes, that's actually where it goes. Look, I'm moving.
Hey, it keeps the lights on. We didn't say whose lights, but it keeps the lights on.
You know who else will keep the lights on? Caleb Hewitt out of Indiana will keep the lights on in Jacksonville.
Will he?
I don't.
Oh no,
I don't
he will
agree.
not. My bad.
No, I
misread it.
I think you're looking for T.J. Greenwood of Wisconsin.
That's true.
TJ Greenwood.
Well, he'll turn the lights off on the opposing quarterbacks
Yeah,
when he runs into them.
He'll do it right off the snap.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, Greenwood. This right end class is pretty good, but yeah, Greenwood's by far the best of them.
Greenwood is the best edge rusher in the draft, I think.
Honestly,
Rusher,
falling to 6 is almost surprising because he has some really good pure talent.
Everybody wants that flashy offensive weapon or that lockout corner or run-stopping DT in Tyler's case.
Yeah.
But edge is what will win you the game. What will win you the game on defense? You don't have to have the best corner in the league if you have T.J. Greenwood rushing off the edge, beating the left tackle, and sacking the quarterback right away.
Oh yeah, no, he's got that. Of course, the move. You need a move if you're gonna be drafted high, like that.
I mean, he's got one of the best finesse moves in the game in the draft.
If not
and he can tackle too. He has the speed to run down a mobile corner or a mobile quarterback, which I think with him going to the Jaguars is a good idea. Doesn't that AFC South? There's a relatively quick quarterback who like to run the ball.
I don't know if in this universe, but maybe.
He can run him down. He can beat the left tackle, run him down, and tackle him too.
But he's got a bit of meat on him though. Like he's not a weak little dude. He's still
he's not 240, 250. He's a bigger Melvin Ingram.
He can still push you around a little bit. Not.
He gets to sack Ben Bowles. That'll be fun.
If that happens, so I think Zach.
In this mock, this is happening. He gets to sack Ben Bowles.
Yeah, no, Zach would be thrilled with this pick. I feel like I'd be thrilled with this, even if I don't need him.
I mean, Ben Bowles was the more athletic of the two. So.
Yep.
Greenwood can run him down.
Next up, oh shit, it's me.
Oh
I
God.
forgot. It's like, wait, Seahawks, me, not Buccaneer. Whoa. Um. So yeah, this is new me, and this is a bold statement by me. Uh, I'm not gonna pick Edison, even though in my mock he's there, because I like Caleb Hewitt a lot, and Hewitt might not be as big of a like. I feel like a lot of ways, Edison's kind of a Marcus Peters, and just a ball hawk.
Mm.
Um, he makes those plays. I feel like Hewitt's maybe not the Trey Waynes, but he can do all of it. He can zone coverage, he can do man, and he can press up against them. And he's got a really nice combine, the strongest corner in the class, and one of the quickest. For me, long term, he's a scheme fit for me. Um, I think he's the guy I'd have to go just because those zone and man rating just so nice to have together when you have to trust the Madden computer to call the right plays. You can trust Hewitt, and no matter any coverage, the game or the coach decides to tell him to do.
Well,
What I love
well
about
put.
Hewitt
I think
is
it's definitely a who do you want? Who do you want better for your scheme?
oh, definitely. I mean, if you go Edison, you're getting a number one corner. But if you look at the Seahawks roster, they have a number one corner in the 26-year-old, 80 overall corner that they have there.
Hmm.
They have that lockdown guy already, so they can get a really great prospect in Hewitt here to play that corner two slot corner, and a lot of the quarterbacks are going to be looking at that wide receiver 2 or 3, and Hewitt's going to be there with the reading the route before they even get called.
Oh yeah. I mean yeah. I'm not. If you've listened to the podcast, we don't do smoke screens here. We're not about that kind of life. Smoke screens are lame, and I'm sure my other hosts here can attest how much I was kind of drooling over earlier. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, I was also drooling over Bernard Stewart, which is kind of why I put him on at 4 because I believe he's that good or can get that good. But Hewitt here, I'd love. And honestly, it's a real good chance that I get Hewitt if I want him.
I'd say
So,
you have a very good chance.
I mean, I don't see
anyone
two corners
before you
going
getting
before
them.
6. And if two corners do
Yeah.
go before 6, I get a real good player. So,
Yeah.
uh, So moving on from the new me, we go to the old me. Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle Bucks. No, no McCarron. The new Bucks. Here, Bucks. Kyle has a few different positions he can go, and I think just even though he might not be as good as the other two receivers so far, I might have him. I think I'm having him go with another receiver here because the receivers are too good. With wide receiver Brandon Coleman. And Brandon Coleman is really insane to me because he's 6'5" and can just catch everything, and he can jump really high. And he's honestly a tight end, and I could see him. I don't know if he has the weight to be a tight end. I forget our exact specs. I think he might be a little too light for that. But he's 6'5" and can catch anything and is stronger than most tight ends in this class. He's done more bench reps, so with Coleman, I think he gets the job done, becomes Mike Evans too. And I think you just get another Mike Evans, and he's from Florida. He went to Florida for school, so he stays there. He's a hometown guy. I think it makes a lot of sense, and he's gonna be really good. I'm surprised, Madden doesn't have him rated higher.
So I have him. I have Channing Bowden. Just on the defensive side of the ball, we talked about Greenwood and how good he is off the edge. I would say Bowden's probably the closest comparison
I-
to Greenwood
yeah, I'd
in
agree.
that he has that great power rush move. He's got the strength off the edge. He's just not as quick. But everything
And
else, I would
my
say, is
other
very similar.
concern with Bowden, I love Bowden. I think he's really good. He's a bit older than a lot of the people around him being taken, other than the quarterbacks.
Yes.
And I mean,
Yeah.
if that's a concern for you, I mean, some people hate age. I don't mind it that much. I don't. You gotta go with the old people if you want the good talent. It worked out well for me that last year, so
Yeah.
if Bucks takes Bowden, maybe they can keep on going with older guys that kind of just work out for them. Um, there's no way this Madden goes as long as last year's too, so he should be able to survive the Madden
If anything, it'll go like 2 seasons less.
thing. I don't know. It might be tight. I don't know if they're getting it out in time, like Madden 20 early, but we'll see.
I
I
hope so.
I cannot tell the future. I would like to have an
Oh, but we
early
can
Madden was
predict it.
nice. Sorry, what?
No, but we can predict it.
We
Next,
can.
Because that's what we're doing right here.
mm-hmm. Next up, we have the Eagles. This is Adam, Big Ad Dog. Um, and I think here it's a defensive back should probably be taken. And wow, if he falls this far, I'd be actually surprised now that I think about it. But you know, it's steals. Sometimes weird stuff happens. Sometimes Randy Moss falls, and you get a generational player at number 9 or later in the draft. And I think yeah, if Edison's here, take him. Yeah, that's my talk.
I mean, nothing more needs to be said
We've talked about
Yeah,
about
Edison.
Edison falling to 9.
If Edison falls to 9, then the Eagles are going home happy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I have Edison off the board already, and I
Sure.
went the next corner and Jerome Dotson from NC State. He's another really great corner, but he's a man-to-man corner who's really agile and he can jump, which I think is really weird because normally you kind of leave that to your slot guys. But
Mhm.
obviously, the NC State secondary was pretty good with both Jerome Dotson and another corner, Kerry Phillips, both coming into the draft as first-round
There's
talents.
some dynamic duos in this draft.
There is. This is the dynamic duo draft for sure. And I think Jerome Dotson here is a great corner. He's tall, he's relatively big for a corner, but he's not heavy for.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. I think Dodson's pretty solid. Next up, we have the Patriots. This is a Wiley, no longer rivals with him. So I want Wiley to make a good pick here. I encourage Wiley to make a great pick because it doesn't actually hurt me. Um,
I'll give Wiley a good pick in that wide receiver.
so I think here this is our first like 3-way different. Like we all have a different opinion on this one. I think they're all equally viable, and we all agree he kind of needs one thing with his needs that are available, and that's safety. He needs a safety in some form.
Personally, he
Personally,
needs a strong safety or a free safety where he can bump his already free safety too strong, but he's got a near practice squad player starting for him right now at front
so
safety.
let's go through the buffet of safeties here. This is basically what you're getting, anyways, for the safety class.
I'll start it off by going for NC State corner Kerry Phillips, who's the dynamic duo of Jerome Dotson.
Mhm.
I want to bring him up because of the NC State duo thing first. I actually have him swapping to strong safety.
I could see that.
And he would be an athletic freak at strong safety.
Mhm.
He's top 5 for bench press, second best 40-yard dash at 4.36. Yes, he's 5'10" and under 200 pounds, but I think he can really make a difference with the strong safety role.
And
Would you not put him at free safety?
either way,
I put him in strong safety. I would rather have a faster
Interesting.
guy there.
I think you could
Okay.
work with either. I love like that would be an insane coverage, especially for safety too. Like
Hmm.
I like Phillips a lot actually, and I probably have him going way lower than he should go, just cause need. Not going to me though this pick. That's the Josh pick, and I like it a lot. The safety convert in the Josh plan, I like that. Why not you go next, Alex? What's next
Sure.
up
I
on?
have them going with Jaden Davis out of Texas A&M, who's the only good free safety in this class. Even though he is a free safety, he's still got that great hit power. He's very natural to the ball, can read plays well, good elusiveness, and he is 21, the
Hmm.
youngest you're gonna get. So that's a great development as well for him if he goes with Jaden Davis.
And then I have him going Kevin Gabriel, and the biggest reason I like Gabriel particularly over Davis is I think his 40 and bench are a big difference maker for just being that everywhere safety, that top 10 pick safety. I think you want someone who can be all over the field, and I think that's Gabriel. Um, Even though he is a year older, he still is 22, so it's not like I don't think age is as spooky as if he was 23. I just like Gabriel a lot here, and but I think with either all three of these plays, like they're all good. They're all good secondary.
Definitely a great pick to have if you definitely need secondary
There's
in the
options
mock.
here. Next up we have Rob. Rob the Bills, but don't actually rob them. Never. That joke never gets
Never
old.
gets old.
And he robbed them. Like Bob Builder.
Top comedy. Rob the Raiders was way better. Just
Rob
as
the
a real
Raiders.
mock
Come
like
on,
this.
Rob the
Raider had a pretty good catchy.
Rob the Bills. It's like,
Don't
Rob the
diss them.
Bills.
Don't knock the Bills down.
what? You're just gonna
Dude,
take their wings.
Yeah,
It's not fun. That's
and their
mean.
tables, not their tables.
Speaking about taking wings away, let's talk about what Alex and I have here. Bernard Stewart, the D tackle.
I love Bernard Stewart. Have I told you
He's gonna
that?
jump through a table. He's gonna jump through a table when he's drafted.
He's gonna jump through a table when he's drafted. The Bills have already sent the table over. They also send the table to the top 50 people that they have on their board, but we're not going to talk about that poor financial decision. So, like Tyler said, fourth overall to the Ravens, Stewart is an athletic freak. He's 21. He's from Boise State, who's known to be a hard-hitting defense. I think he can play a role in the Bills' defense that Ed Oliver used to play back in 2018, the 17 odd years ago. He's an athletic freak. He can tackle well. His table smashing ability has to be a 99. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
With that speed and strength, he has to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we all know that's the real way the Bills draft
like
players.
I'm close my eyes right now. I can just picture him climbing on top of an RV. There's a table at the bottom of the RV. A crowd of people circling.
He wouldn't be climbing. He'd be jumping onto the RV with his 35-inch bird.
That's true. Like, but like he has a can of Labatt Blue in one hand, and he's wearing. He's not even wearing his own jersey. He's probably wearing like an old like Shady McCoy jersey or something probably, and he's just a crowd of people's joining in to start to cheer him on.
I mean, Tyler, it's a Braden Hampton jersey, first of all.
Sure. Oh, that's fair.
It's a Braden Hampton jersey.
As
The
a
one
crowd
adding
of
the most to this scenario actually is a different pick for this right here.
As a crowd of people drawing, he prepares to jump and he jumps and obliterates that table.
There's two tables stacked on top of each other. They both just fold like cardboard.
That's the dream. That's the dream of Buffalo.
That's when Buffalo will know they got their guy.
I would cry tears of happiness, and they would flow more than the Niagara
We need
Falls.
one of our editors to go do that for us. Go put a Bernard Stewart face on a Bills fan hopping through a table.
Well, sadly, I don't have Stewart to give because I made him go like 7 picks earlier,
Oh wait,
something like that.
there's been a Philip Rivers Eli Manning trade. Coleman to the Ravens to go get so they can get Stewart.
Nice.
My bad.
Yeah, I have to think about him at number 7 if he's there for me. Not gonna lie, but I have Bills because Stewart's not here. I think they just go with the running back, Jamal Lawrence. They don't have very many running backs, and I think this guy of Michigan is really good. I think the biggest thing is he can make cuts on like a dime is too big, and so he's making cuts on a nickel.
Wait, nickels are bigger than dimes.
That's the joke.
Oh, okay.
He's making
That
cuts
one-
on a nickel.
That one went right over my head.
It's a bad joke. Nah, I did. What is a coin big? I don't know if there's no coins, American coins, bigger than or smaller than dimes. I'm not
No,
cultured
there's not.
enough to know any other coins other than loonies, so tough. I'm getting off
Oh, no,
topic. I'm getting
Tyler,
really
you're
off
breaking
topic.
up.
Am I? Oh no. Did I break up?
No, you're fine. You should be good now.
Cool.
Yeah, we hear you.
Anyways, enough with my weirdness. Yeah, Lawrence, he just cuts really well. He doesn't drop the ball, and he can juke and just truck. All that combined, I think, just makes a solid running back. I don't think he's the best running back I've ever seen in Madden, but, I think he can be around for Rob for the most of Madden.
It'd be great one cut back.
Next up, we have Kevin. There is no Rosen in this league, and that's sad.
That was a big reason why we did the 15-year sim, by the way.
Yeah, get rid of
Had to
Rosen.
get rid of Rosen.
Not, yeah. Ugh.
With love, of course.
Not Zeke, not Garrett. It was Rosen.
Not
The
Patrick
chosen
Mahomes.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in one. Kevin has a few options here. I think you just with this deep corner class, I think you just go corner again and pick Jerome Dotson here. It's definitely not the biggest need, but a nice need. And Dotson just out of NC State, some good numbers. Alex said he talked about him a bit, and Josh did too. Yeah, I like Dotson a lot. I think he can do it for a long time.
So what me and Josh have going for him is he really needs to buff up that defensive line, at least in one position. It's almost complete. And I think he needs some beef, Terrence Beef.
Maybe some venison in his diet.
Yeah, yeah, Terrence Vincent.
This is gonna become
out of Temple. He's a bit older.
This is gonna
He's a
become
bit
Joe
older.
Rogan. It's like, you ever eat elk? You have elk? I've farm-grown elk. Want to try some elk?
Joe Rogan's in prison at this point. It's 2035. He's in prison, man.
Yeah, that conspiracy's been blown open. Show some respect for the man's family.
What do you think he did? Like, I feel like it's an OJ situation, but not like the glove doesn't fit shit. Like, not that, but like the
He was
car
like-
chase, the Bronco
Yeah,
chase.
him and Elon Musk, man.
He was like, guys, Obama did a drone strike, and then it was just like, well, bam, boom, gone.
Before we get taken off air.
No, yeah, right.
Spotify is
Monoxide
gonna be
going.
like, "Hey, this is our new guy. Don't slander."
One of my biggest things with Terrence Vincent out of Temple is, yes, he's 23, but he is going to be all over that right or left side wherever you play him. He's going to be able to play that stretch outside run. He's going to be able to cover those quarterbacks rolling out to his side. He just has he's an agility-based speed rusher, and I think that's very interesting. Him being 260 pounds and able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
For
The
definitely.
big
sure.
boy.
Either way, I have a feeling that I think Panthers Kevin in a nice little pick here, if I do say so myself. Next up we have definitely don't rob the Raiders because it's not rob the Raiders. See,
Not
like our
Rob Doyle.
callback, it's
I
James,
do.
it's
That was good.
James. If it's from if they become the Mexico City. What? They're Las Vegas. Shit. They should go to
Yeah.
Mexico
Oh
City.
no.
That would be great. Moved.
I wish.
Um, yeah, James. I believe this is his first draft in a GM league.
I do believe
I
so.
think
Yeah.
this is his first GM league. So, might need some pro tips from us. So I think here, I think safety. We'll do a safety dance. And I think here instead of going cause I had Gabriel going, I think you take Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for reasons you've already said, I think they're pretty comparable. Davis isn't quite as I think like strong. Like he's quicker, but not as quite as strong and fast as Gabriel. But he's younger. I think that's both have their pros and cons. I like them both.
Um, I I took Kevin Gabriel
Hmm.
over Davis here. You said it earlier. Gabriel is a hard-hitting safety. He's a strong safety, and he's an agile safety. Uh, his acceleration is what's going to
Hmm.
win him his fame. Um, and he's not afraid to ball hawk the ball. And at 6 feet, 200, he can do that.
Oh yeah. Anything to add about Gabriel, Alex? Or is it all
No, I
been
think you
said?
guys
It's all
both
been said.
did
That's
well on that.
probably
I have him
fair.
going as well. We've highlighted Gabriel.
So here's next pick. We have Sip for the second time, and here's a hype pick. I like this pick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back in time, time machine noise. Time machine. We have pick 5, Sip. I have Sip going with the 5th pick. I have him going Khalil Price. Yeah, Price is pretty good. Anyway, so that's the time machine. We go
Back to the
back
present.
now, present. So earlier we had Sip going either Price or Hurd, whoever's there of the two good ones. Yeah, we're going wide receiver again, cause can't have too many.
You gotta put those tools around that young, amazing talent.
And when you have like picks like these available, like there's so many good
Yeah.
wide receivers, and like you're gonna be deving wide receiver anyways. You get the double dip.
Yep.
They both get you focus train them. They just both become good together for the rest of Madden. Never have to really think about wide. You just have to find your third wide receiver. Easy, you know. Don't have to.
And that's just like a free agent pickup, honestly.
Right. You don't ever have to think about it for the rest of Madden, and it's kind of nice. And so I think here you have a few picks, options. I think I like Tommy Haskins a lot here. I think he complements Khalil Price if that's who Sip picks early. But Haskins, the thing that makes Haskins insane is he's the fast. He ran a 4.3. 4.3 flat.
Pretty flat.
Yeah. And then he also has an insane shuttle, and he has good short route. Like, and he can catch. He can catch too.
Mm-hmm.
I had Ship going Solomon Hurd here while you guys went Price. I think with Hurd and Haskins, who are you going to isolate on that wide receiver core?
Right?
If you have Hurd out left, who's going to win any one-on-one catch being 6'3" with amazing spec catch, and you have Tommy Haskins speeding across the middle reminiscent of Tyreek Hill, who are you going to cover? The quarterback's going to have like a coin flip of who he's going to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll be valuable. That's why I have them going both the deep threat Haskins and Hurd, because they're just two amazing prospects who aren't afraid.
And then I have Brandon Coleman still on this board.
I like Coleman a lot,
a physical
too.
threat. I love Coleman, and the fact that he falls here. So essentially after this draft, they get to dev the 23 Rookie of the Year superstar quarterback, and then whatever dev these two wide receivers get next year.
So these wide receivers were here last Madden, like one of the middle drafts when we were having that wide receiver drought. I feel like they could almost all go top 5. And I'd be like, it makes sense.
And there's 6 really weird receivers. They'll all go top 5.
Which now there's like 6 of them, and like 6 viable super viable receivers, like ones that I would be shocked if they didn't go.
These are all like ones. These are all number 1 receivers essentially here, and the fact that the Cardinals get to dip on 2 of them.
Exactly.
Number 1.
That's gonna be a very scary air raid offense.
I'm looking at our boards coming up. I think the latest we have for the 6, we have 6 receivers going at latest 23. Like before 23 or earlier.
It's gotta be a draft record somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is insane.
The Julio Jones draft that happened way back in 2000.
I'm excited. A lot of fun receivers to start off the year. So, take your pick. I don't even if you pick one of the ones that are probably objectively worse, it's not like you're getting a bad deal out of the situation.
I think the only bad pick here for Cardinals is somehow one of the quarterbacks here and you take him. Because I don't know who's going to trade for rookie. I don't know who he's going to trade Rookie of the Year guy for. But
yeah,
I'm scared to see that timeline. I honestly am. The Arizona
double dip wide receiver for the hype.
Yeah, so I was about to say, I kind of want to highlight the Cardinals and what their GM just did. They came in with 3 quarterbacks. They picked 1 and traded the other 2 for a total of 3 first-round picks.
Yep.
1 this year and 2 next year.
The Cardinals have 5 picks in this draft and the next first-round.
So,
picks.
I feel like the double receiver makes even more sense with that.
It makes so much sense.
Especially in a wide receiver deep class like this. Get your 2 wide receivers locked down, and the next draft you can go anywhere you want.
Yep.
You could go
beat O-line for 3 picks if you want to fix that defense.
Or maybe a running back, or maybe you look defense. You have the world's your oyster, Sip.
Yes, as long as he's here.
That's such a dumb thing I just said. That's on a recording. My kid,
Sorry.
I'm gonna have kids, and they're gonna find AGML podcasts. They're gonna be like, "Why the heck did you?" I'm saying heck because my kids are listening. Clearly,
I want that to be on a shirt.
What?
The world's your oyster.
All right. On that note, number 15 is
Cardinals circle jerk.
Yeah, Cardinals. I hate that I have to circle jerk them because they're gonna absolutely destroy this division. And I know it. By this division, I mean the NFC West that I am currently stuck in. Next up, we have the Orange Crush, the Broncos. Utch. And I think Utch, I've neglected, as you see, there's been some very good edge rushes that I've not taken yet. And the biggest reason I haven't is, frankly, age and talent above them. It's like, okay, there's a lot of talent in this draft, especially the first, 20 picks about. I feel like the first 20 picks are absolutely stacked in talent. And so you have some guys who I think could go, they're really good, and just age kind of get neglected a bit, and edge seems like a little more solid of a position after the 15-year sim than some other places. So, but here I think you just have to go Channing Bowden, not Channing Tatum, but Channing Bowden. I believe both had him going. Yeah, number 8. So a big
Yeah.
drop for him. 23 really hurts, but other than that, he's great. Really, I just don't have him going because I think there's just slightly better players or positions of need that everyone else goes. And that's kind of why he falls, but I think Utch would be glad to reinforce that D line with Bowden.
No doubt, yeah, especially if he drops that far down, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
I have Kerry Phillips, who Josh had earlier, going to strong safety.
Strong safety.
I think he sticks at the cornerback position for Utch, just because of his speed. I like his speed. I like how sticky he is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's a playmaker. He's got good catching. He's got good speed to catch up to the ball, and he's got good agility to turn around and actually catch the ball. And the one downside is he's 23. That's his one downside, or else he'd probably be picked earlier than where he is now.
Oh yeah.
A great thing with your Kerry Phillips pick is they have Terrence Wilkins, who's
Yep.
also 23 and 77.
You saw that
So
corner, yeah.
you're not making Kerry Phillips play corner one.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always played second fiddle to Caleb Hewitt, or not. I don't think Caleb Hewitt. Dodson, yeah. So you're not asking him to step up at all. You're just asking him, hey, this is what you've played most of your collegiate career. Come do it here.
Yeah. Let him take his chances. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a good play ball corner. Let him take his chances.
Wait, I just had an epiphany. What if?
Oh.
I don't think it happens. I think there's like a 0% this happens, but it would be super cool if we saw Sip double dip, not at wide receiver, but at corner, and pick Dodson and Phillips and keep the NC State boys
cool.
together. Would be so sick
cool.
if that's. I don't know if it would be even possible, but
that would be cool.
That would be so cool.
I think it'd be possible. It'd just be like you'd essentially be leaving your rookie of the year quarterback out to dry.
Yeah.
You'd be doing a 2019 Texans.
But you get two
quarterback.
You get two NC State boys, like the story. Like the story transcends everything else, you know? That's all that matters in the Madden. How good the story is.
The long shot.
The Colt Cruz guitar song plays.
Great there. There's actually another it's a long shot. I actually have Brandon Coleman going here for Broncos.
I love Brandon Coleman too.
A lot of my pick here is, again, you guys said it, he's the Mike Evans prospect. Everyone wants to be Mike Evans, but the Broncos have been stopping their wide receiver one they have now. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, he is 30, and I don't think they're seeing the offers they want for him. But James Gomez is the best wide receiver in the league. Like, that can't be argued. But I'm looking at their wide receivers, and they really don't have any big body guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really have any young, talented wide receivers. I don't think any of their receivers went for more than 800 yards.
Yeah.
Or 700 yards. And I think that even if they don't find a trade partner for James Gomez, I think you're going to get that Randy Moss and who's their wide receiver too? Carter or something? I can't remember. The guy who played wide receiver too for Randy Moss.
Chris Carter.
He's going to be James. Yeah, Chris Carter. He's going to be the Chris Carter to James Gomez and Randy Moss.
That'd be fun. Chris Carter was undrafted, I believe, right? I think.
I wouldn't know. But
Alex I'm more asking Alex to see if he can confirm my suspicions.
What's his name is undrafted?
Chris Carter? Or maybe I'm thinking of John Randall.
No, I think he's a 7.
Oh no, he was a supplemental draft pick.
Was that it? Okay.
Which that is undrafted still, I believe.
That's linebacker. Yes. My bad. I just looked up Chris Carter and said linebacker. I'm like, I don't think I'm.
Chris Carter's Wikipedia page looks like he's gonna cry.
I think he is crying there.
He might be.
Yep. Or take the supplemental. So maybe loftier expectations, but Chris Carter turned out to be a pretty good pick.
It's all right. This is an okay pick.
He's decent.
Jim's gonna like be listening to this like Tyler and Alex. You didn't see him play. You're too young. You're born like.
That's true. We didn't see him.
You've only seen his highlights.
All right. Next up, we have Paul. Paul, the practice squad stealer.
Oh no! Quit.
Way to date the video.
Yeah, I have to edit that out now. Shit.
I know another league that might copyright this podcast now. I actually have another NC State boy going here. I think.
Yeah,
Alex
no, that
well.
defense is insane.
Kazim Wayne. I might be mispronouncing this, but he is a phenomenal finesse rusher for NC State. I think that's a lot of the success the corners had because opposing quarterbacks had to run away from this guy. And I think that's a lot of the success that NC State team had. Kazim Wayne has amazing move, finesse-wise, but it's weird because he put up 27 reps on the bench press, which for an outside linebacker sorting, that's really good. More so that you have finesse moves. That's what you're known for. I'm curious what a NFL level defensive coach can teach this guy about power moves.
Sure.
I think he can be an all-around player.
No, yeah, that's what I have him going as well. I don't think he sticks as an outside linebacker. He just doesn't seem like he has any coverage abilities whatsoever.
I can see him go to an edge.
He's an edge rusher, and that's where the Chiefs need him most. They actually have the Chiefs have two good linebackers on the outside.
I can't think of what the Chiefs play this
Yeah.
year. So I agree with you. He's definitely an edge rusher. I don't think you'd want him out at zone coverage.
Absolutely. And here I have more O-line or D-line cleanup crew, which is Vincent. He's really good. I think just age pushes him, and other position of needs in the teens pushes him just far enough back for the Chiefs to get a nice little steal here at 16. I like him a lot. Biggest downside for him is he is a speed rusher without any real known finesse moves, which I think for Vincent is you don't want to it's a little more of a risk than Bowden.
It's scary.
You know, it's a little spookier.
It's definitely scary.
But with that combine, it's hard to say no here. I think at 20, and his other things are pretty good too. So it's not like he's even if he's serviceable even if he doesn't have the best finesse. Now, as we get here, I probably should. Josh reminded me. We should probably mention. This is an AGML broadcast. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without AGML's consent is prohibited.
You may not feel the sound of my voice. And make other clips of it.
Dang.
At least not without asking me.
Someone's gonna wonder why this mock draft is 2 hours long.
To be fair, they're always 2 hours long. It's not they're short. When we make our mock drafts, they're long, and that's why it's nice. We have the
32 round pick.
At least with the graphic, you can skip ahead to be like, all right, you'll see where the picks are. It's like you can at least just see your pick.
All right.
Yeah.
What do they pick for my Chargers? All right.
I want to hear their bad takes.
I can't wait to tell them how wrong they are. No, I believe we're on to the Falcons here at 17.
Yay.
Wait,
All right.
This is Wiley, I think, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is me, Tyler, you dingus.
I have Wiley here taking.
Yeah, Wiley.
Alex here, I have him taking Camille Lawrence. I believe both of you had him going a lot sooner.
I don't know if
I think Tyler had him.
I had him going early. I like
Tyler had him
Lawrence.
go 11 here.
Yeah.
I like Lawrence as a running back. Is a really great prospect in the fact that he is going to hold the ball for you. He's going to find the hole with his juke move, and he's going to truck through any defender that decided that they picked the wrong hole that day. He's going to punish defensive tackles for over pursuing, not filling their gaps, and with him being the most agile back in the draft, I think he's going to be great.
I like him a lot.
He's a Michigan boy, which could be why somebody didn't mock him to himself. Little rivalry going there. But I think he's the best running back available.
Wait, so Alex, your guy.
Yes.
Well, actually, you go ahead.
Sure. I have them going. I have me going Junior Coleman instead out of Fresno State, who is also a running back. And I hear what you're saying. However, I am the recipient of the best running back award in Lewis. He's just getting old. I need to find a replacement. So I'm going to go with Coleman, who's younger, who has better vision out the gate, same speed, about 0.1 second less shuttle time.
That could make a difference, though.
Pretty much the same carrying.
Yeah.
I just get a younger running back to flip around with Lewis.
What do you run up there in Atlanta? Kind of offense.
Kind of offense, I believe. Well, it's elusive back scheme.
So
okay, so you're definitely running zone. My biggest concern of Coleman is Fresno ran a spread offense. They had their linemen split bigger. It looked really weird all year, and Coleman was a stretch back. And his spin moves are great, but this isn't Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's Saquon Barkley level talent. How often will that spin move work in the NFL?
So now,
Sure.
this isn't the first Coleman to play for the Falcons. This, I believe, is Tevin Coleman's son.
Is he?
Maybe
Tevin. Sure.
Yeah, it's Tevin Coleman's
I'll take
son. So it's like the Falcons connect. Even though Tevin didn't have like the best ending with the Falcons.
Maybe he redeemed the Coleman jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also I'd save me money. I had a Tevin Coleman jersey in the lockers that was left over in the closet, and it's like, here you go.
You checked your storage.
My owner is very stingy.
You checked your
very
storage
stingy
room.
owner.
You checked the storage room, and that's the jersey. You're like, that's where we're grafting, boys.
Yep.
It's to honor your dad.
Why can't this guy $7 million a year? So we don't gotta buy a big jersey.
And I have finally. I'm the last person to pick Phillips. Phillips is good. Basically, really, again, reason he falls is logjam in the position, and also he's 23, which hurts a little. But god damn, his man in zone are so good.
Phenomenal.
It's like,
I think he'd amazing.
If he wasn't 23, I would think about him at 7.
If he's 21, I think he goes past Edison and Dotson.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, I love this pick if Phillips is here. Next up, it's the Chiefs the bottom half of the Chiefs sandwich. Chiefs again. Alex, how do you feel to be the meat in the Chiefs sandwich?
It feels hot. It makes sense considering
I guarantee
the owner
Paul
of
would
the
love
Chiefs.
that idea.
I'm about to say,
I can guarantee
Paul is the antithesis of me because he's a giant and I'm a midget, and that's why I'm the meat. Here's the thing: it's essentially as if he is the big. He's too tall for me. He's essentially the big and little spoon because he just wraps around me.
That's something I
This
heard.
is the true content you come for.
Moving on to the bottom half of the Chiefs sandwich. I have a guy that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. He's out of Oklahoma State. He's power rusher Dalton Bromley. I'm going to call him Bromley instead of Bromley because I think it sounds cooler.
All
and
right.
He needs to sound cool because he has close to the best power moves in the draft. And that by itself on a 23-year-old doesn't look that great. Except for the fact that he gets off of blocks. He's a smaller guy. He just offensive linemen don't stick to him in the run game, and he had so many tackles for loss in that Oklahoma State defense that it's kind of weird that he's a power rusher in my opinion, because he is a significant force in the run game, and he can pass rush. I think that's the kind of value you want out of an outside linebacker who can play that run stopping if you need him to.
Yeah.
But
Hello?
go pro mode.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I think I disconnected.
I believe he did. Bottom half of the Chiefs sandwich.
Yes. Okay, so I have the Chiefs going O-line, the one first-round talent O-line in this entire class, in Madison Hilton, who isn't necessarily the best O-line you can ever get, but he is, I would say he's formidable. I would say he's definitely someone that you would not hate to draft in the second half of this draft anywhere. He's a great, steady, pass-blocking offensive lineman. And that's that's essentially what he is. He's going to fall back. He likes to just fall back. He's not going to push forward. He will just anchor that middle against defensive tackles and save that quarterback, whoever it is, because the Chiefs have no one on their roster at quarterback.
Right. You know,
so whoever that may be.
One thing
Madison
about
Hilton.
the Madison Hilton is it's a really nice hotel in Madison, Wisconsin. And right now you can get going rates for $99 a night. Might be the Corona special though.
Yeah.
Have a nice stay.
Miami, so I think it would be.
Near the campus of University of Wisconsin. Anyways.
Nice.
Here I have Paul. This is a very Paul pick. I think he learned to love the tight end after LaSalle, and even though this guy's probably not LaSalle, I'm almost certain he's not. I don't care. He's gonna try. He's gonna try another tight end, and probably the only good tight end this draft from what I've seen. Gotta go with Kevin Ailman. This boy is 21 years old, and he's just a catching machine. Yeah, he's basically, he's big. He's not that different than some of the receivers we've seen today already. Honestly, he's just a slightly bulkier Coleman. And
one thing I love about Ailman is he was a deep threat, not because of his speed and ability to burn a defense, but he was a deep threat because, reminiscent of Chiefs tight end great Travis Kelce, when he got the ball and he started running forward, you're going to need 2, 3, maybe even 4 people to take him down. And a lot of his catching came from yards after the catch. And I think that whoever that Kansas City decides to go for quarterback is going to love having such a humongous presence on the offense.
I'm a big Ailman fan. I think, I mean, maybe. I could see Paul thinking about him. At least considering a good Ailman. Next up, we have, for the first time in mock draft history, the Oklahoma City Bison.
Oh.
Go Bison.
Go Bison. Not Bisons. It's not even right.
Yep. Right, that's annoying. I don't know if I've complained about this.
Incorrect.
I don't know if I've complained about this on stream yet. But if you go into the roster or whatever, any of the menus, it's Bisons, which is even if you pronounce it right, and not with a Z like I do, it's still bison is plural for multiple bison. It's not bisons.
There was a typo with the relocation paperwork, and
yeah, you see a herd of a bunch of bison in a herd. It's a bunch of bison. It's not. Oh, look at those bisons! God damn it! I hate this game. This is the worst broken thing in this game. It bugs me. It really irks me, and I hate how much it irks me because it shouldn't. Real talk. I think here it's no secret how much my other host here gushed over Kazim Wayne. And I think, again, a lot of these picks here, I have going a little later, not because I think they're not worthy of going there, but rather just because it's just the
Tyler H.
circumstance.
Kazim Wayne confirmed? Question mark.
Kazim Wayne, Bruce Wayne?
Is he Bruce Wayne's son?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a storyline we want to make happen?
I mean, why is Bruce Wayne important? He's just a rich dude, right?
Hey man, he got that financial backing.
That's
Any
true.
injury he could.
Anyways, I like Kazim. Also, Bruce Wayne, like the dude, this dude's from NC State too. What the hell?
Yeah. He was the speed wrestler from
You're
NC.
right, but like so many that NC State defense was monstrous.
Interesting to see what they do this year.
Like notorious Wolfpack NC State, like very good on defense. Some of the best in NCAA, as we all know. Yeah, I like Wayne a lot. I think finesse moves, biggest thing that makes Wayne a pretty safe option here. And like honestly, if he falls here, great pick for the Bison.
Yep, will not regret that at all for them.
Wait, so just a question: did Twinkie made the playoffs, right? Because of my head hurts. My head hurts now because I have to do different math. Because like the playoff teams, right, are now like there's more playoff teams, so it's like the first 14 instead of the first 12, right?
Yeah. So from 18 up, all made the playoffs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But
which is why me being 17 is so good.
Here I have Texas A&M free safety going to strong safety, Jaden Davis.
I love Davis.
Maybe I'm just not a fan of the free safety position, but when I see Jaden Davis, I see a strong safety born to play the position. He's going to be that player that is all over the field for you. Again, he's not fast, but he is going with his agility. He's going to be all over the field, and he's going to be making diving interceptions. And I like him in strong safety. They might draft him in free safety and move him over, but they got Locke starting for him now, who's aging. I think he's 27, 28 now. And I just really like Davis in strong safety.
Yeah, I love Davis a lot. Either position, I like them both. Yeah. I could see him playing either. I think he's that flexible.
Yeah, you guys had him top 10.
Absolutely.
Did I have? I did have him go. Yeah. Wait, no. Alex did. I had Gabriel go.
You got him 13.
Yeah. Either way, very good player. I guarantee you, Twinkie would love to have him here. What about you?
I have them going Dalton Bromley, who Josh already talked about before.
Bromley.
State.
Bromley.
And yeah, he's just a very strong.
We're making Bromley happen.
Good both in run and pass blocking. Oh, sorry, Bromley. Yes, you're right.
Bromley.
But yeah, he can do it all. He's a good run stopper and a good pass rusher.
Yeah, I like Bromley a lot. I haven't picked him yet, but we'll see where he goes. Next up we have, wow. I wonder who picked the Dolphins this year.
Some weird dude named Josh.
I'm gonna fight Josh next Madden for the Dolphins.
I think no, we should all just coordinate to try to take the Dolphins just to see what would have 10 people contest the Dolphins.
Right. We'll have to edit this part out of the stream as well.
Yeah,
making my life hard.
Yeah. By the way, with our AGML money, we paid an editor.
His name's Tyler.
Yeah,
we don't pay him a lot, but.
Anyways, we have
exposure.
And I think with still a few quality first round wide receivers, I think Josh would love to go Sidney Roach, Papa Roach, cut his life into pieces. This is his last resort.
he can cut this defense into pieces
That's
with
better.
with his amazing route running. Short, medium, he can catch it all. Well, he can run it all. He is a weird prospect to me because he is a deep threat wide receiver who ran a 4-4 or a 4-4-4.
Right.
But he has 20 reps on the bench press.
He's strong.
Like a deep threat wide receiver. Exactly what everyone's calling him, the deep threat. But he has amazing spec catch. He has highlights of him spec catching it on medium routes.
Right, but like,
And
yeah, just seeing his cuts and how like he just is running better than.
I can only see his route running be exemplified with that Dan Marino Jr. guy that the Dolphins have, who loves running and making a play. I think Sidney Ropes, where he's going to get the most value out of Sidney Ropes, is as Dan Marino Jr. takes off, and Sidney Ropes sees that. I think Sidney Ropes, that Dan Marino connection, is going to be amazing.
And Alex?
Yes.
I love him.
So I have still Tommy Haskins on my board, who you guys had going way earlier.
I had him going at least 14.
Or I guess not way earlier. He was to the Cardinals.
14 here.
Yep. so fast. One of the fastest receivers that we have in this class, and can actually catch still.
Yeah.
I mean everything about him. I don't know. He's really good.
Sorry, I just had a.
I'm so high on Haskins just because he can catch in traffic, run short routes, and make those highlight grabs.
Like,
I don't think he falls past Chip, who I think should be building that air raid offense.
Double dip.
To exactly what Haskins and Hurd can do for that rookie quarterback. Or good sophomore quarterback now. I eventually have to go learn his name. All right,
who, Dan Marino Jr.?
No, Dan Marino Jr. plays for the Dolphins. Oh yeah,
no, I know that. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I mean, I have to go learn the Cardinals.
Oh, you meant for the quarterback for the Cardinals.
Yeah, sorry.
It's Kramer.
Sorry,
it's Kramer.
Kramer. There we go. Kramer the Cardinals.
He's just gonna burst into the room and just stand there.
Sorry, Josh. We're gonna talk about. I was gonna go over for my Cardinal fandom.
Next up, we have 49ers is for real this year.
Yes.
And I was laughing a bit because I just realized the other team. So we had Alex had Coleman going to himself. And as our canon goes now, he's son of Tevin Coleman, former player of the Falcons. Now I have him going to the 49ers. Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman famously played for the 49ers, saving money on jerseys no matter who mocks him.
Nice.
Well, we actually have two Colemans in this draft.
Oh,
we have Junior Coleman from Fresno State, and we have Brandon Coleman from Florida.
I don't think Tevin Coleman birthed a 6'5" wide receiver. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I don't think. Maybe he had like a nice relationship with some really tall model or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good genes.
Yeah, there you go.
I was Junior Coleman here. Yes, he is a spin machine, and I'm not a huge fan of the spin machine. But he has the ball carrying vision and the carrying to just take the ball, run it forward 6 yards, and he has the free cone to open up a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where his strong point is going to be. Here's the hole. I'm not going to fumble through it. Again, not a fan of the spin move because I'm not sure where that comes in. But I think he's a great 6-7 yard per carry back if the Niners use them right.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I say that with 7 to 8 yards per carry is insane, but I think he's going to be very good. I think he's going to be a very, it's second and short, third and short, give it to him. He's a relatively bigger back, being 6 foot 205.
He is. I have them going with Jamil Lawrence. So we're going running backs here, even though it's not necessarily the biggest need for them. It is getting to the point where you want to start looking at maybe best player
It's the
available
best
that you can
available
replace
need.
some of that you can
Yeah.
definitely play replace some of your older guys with.
Mhm.
Um, like for real has one of the best quarterbacks. I think the second best quarterback, but he's also old. And
Right.
he's gonna have to replace him soon.
Mhm.
And so you guys already talked about Jamil Lewis. You think he's better.
I like Lawrence.
I see where you're coming from. I think Jamil Lawrence has just a little less in certain departments and a little more in other departments. I like that he has both a juke and a truck move. I do like that
I
he has
think
those mix of
NFL
movements.
ready talents
Again,
too.
Madden will sometimes just call like he can if he has to do some power rushing, he can because
Yep.
of that truck. I like that a lot because Madden will
And
sometimes just be
I
like
actually think
power
it's cool
rush.
he's a shorter running back,
Uh huh.
and he's still 209. So he's got
Yeah.
that smaller frame, lower.
They're
I mean,
both
But
literally
big.
he's
an
bulky.
inch.
He's a bulkier guy.
He's a
That's where the
bulkier
truck
guy.
comes from.
Hmm.
Not so much of his height goes, not so much of his size is height,
Yeah.
literally by an inch. But I mean, if you're
Yeah.
paying these dudes $7-8 million, maybe an inch does matter in this case.
Mhm.
Hmm. But yeah, you guys again already talked about Jamil Lawrence. I think he's a better balanced back, and I think he can maybe even get up to a 3 down back before Coleman can. But I think out the gate, and especially with my situation where I already have a very good running back, just to have a change of direction guy that will someday take over for him,
Develop
being
and
Mhm.
younger than
and I mean,
Lawrence.
with these mid to late round picks, there's more room for that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. But either way, I think Frio gets a great running back here in Jamil.
Wow. Would you look at that? It's the Vikings, and I don't. I'm gonna mix the
I believe this is our customary skull chant time, right? I mean,
skull.
that was in the notes you guys sent me.
Skull. You know, we're gonna like
Yeah.
Madden now. We're
Skull.
gonna do the skull chant every third down.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
every third
yeah.
down for
Every
some
third
reason. And then
down,
the
and yeah,
horn.
So,
the
Horn on
bomb,
scores.
bomb,
well,
the third down
we,
actual
we
horde.
we only had two people pick this, so we had two people pick for this position. Alex and I went to go to Burke.
Yep.
Yes.
I believe he's the final of the six wide receivers here.
For you,
For
Josh.
you,
For me, yeah. Who do you
I
guys?
got one more.
Oh, yep. My bad, Alex. I should have assumed that. So Burke is. I'll definitely say he might be a step below the other wide receivers that I had go before here,
Mhm.
but that
Mhm.
step is the step of a 6 foot wide receiver deep threat from LSU,
Sure.
not the step of an average man. Um,
What does that
he's a phenomenal.
mean?
He's a phenomenal agility runner.
He's a
Not the
phenomenal
best in the
jumper
game.
too.
He can jump. He can jump. He's 6 foot. He can jump. He's got the
He
4.49
would be
speed.
playing basketball if he was not 6 foot.
Yes. Um, definitely lower on the catching than the other guys that went before him, but he
But
still has
even
that.
then, it's still there. He's still got
It's still
some.
there. It's still the catching is phenomenal.
Mhm. Would you say the same about
Sorry,
Alex?
Alex, I need to take that from you.
Yeah, that's so. Like you, Josh, had Roach go before Burke, and I did not because especially later rounds, that year difference in age does make a huge difference in terms of development. Um, and in terms of again, like these teams, they're playoff teams. They're generally, for the most part, ready to return.
Yeah.
Um, and while I do like Roach, I think Roach is very good. I think he's very ready to be an NFL receiver. I think Burke, to me, has a better ceiling than Roach.
Mhm.
And so that's why I had him go before here
Yeah.
to the Vikings.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
And I had Bromley finally off the board for me. And
Bromley.
really just here because age and more some other people did not need linebacker because linebacker's probably the most or abundant position in after the 15-year sim seems.
Yeah.
So, I think Bromley, with those B plus power moves, you can't go wrong here for the Vikings. Yeah, 23's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. I haven't actually seen any 24-year-olds, I don't think,
No,
in the
I
first
haven't
round.
either.
I have not seen one either.
Yeah.
None of my,
Did they get
none
rid
of
of it?
No.
I
my
hope so.
super,
I hope
none of
not.
my
I love
super deep knowledge analysis
24-year-olds.
of the season pulled up any 24-year-olds that are dedicated to go to the NFL.
Nice.
Especially down in the GM league where they realize that nobody's going to want to draft them unless they're Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
I like
What's
20.
Tyler? Tyler likes 24-year-olds.
I do like my 24-year-olds. I drafted 2 of the first season last year, so
The
in the
AGML.
first. Yeah. Anyways, next we have the new Browns GM, Lars. Glad to have you. I don't know any Danish. I wish I knew Danish. So I could say something nice to you in Danish. But I'd rather not just Google Translate something and pretend like I know it when it's really like I'm probably like saying something like really embarrassing. It's like those tattoos in like Chinese or whatever that
That mean
means
water or
like
something silly
warrior,
like
but it means like toadstool or something actually in Chinese. Something totally like different and not as admirable.
Not all was intended.
Anyways, enough of that. Glad to have you here, Lars. And here I think I'm having a good pick for you. Good pick. No bad picks for new player. Well, not for you at least. No.
Can't make that promise. But
I can't make that promise for every new GM. But no, I love Burke here. Burke, and this is the last of the crop of wide receivers. I feel like at least the top wide receivers. There's some that I think could leak in maybe. We'll see. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you guys would agree. I think there's like 3 tiers of wide receivers that are in this first round.
Definitely 3 tiers.
Like I feel like Khalil Price and Hurd are the S tier.
Yep.
Haskins and Coleman are probably A tier, and then Roach and and like
definitely.
I think those 3 tiers like it's like between those it's like personal preference, like what you want to build. But yeah, here I think Burke is a smart, nice little pick. Burke, yeah, just again he's 22. Like the physicals might not quite be as like I like the bench press on Roach a little more, and that's like sticks out to me. But Burke has some good, okay catching, okay route running. I think he's going to be decent, and especially here at 23, I think you can't go wrong with a receiver of Burke's caliber. When in like previous last Madden, no way Burke would make it to 23.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
Next Madden, he would definitely be a little higher.
Um.
By a little, I mean probably top 15.
Yeah.
And then for me, I have my last receiver going off in Sidney Roach. Just a little bit older, but a lot more ready. A very precise route runner. And with decent speed to boot at 4.44. And can make those acrobatic catches look easy.
Outmuscle those linebackers. But I believe it's my turn, and this is one of my sleepers for the draft. Again, out of Michigan State, who had a pretty good defense. Now that we're getting down to it, Tevin Clemens. He's the left outside linebacker. He's one of the only pass coverage linebackers in the draft. He's 220 pounds, 6 foot. and he is a tackle machine. Almost every other play, I felt like for Michigan, he was tackling somebody.
For sure.
On kickoff, he was tackling somebody. He was their starting left outside linebacker. To emphasize how great of a pursuit guy he is, they had the 220-pound, 6-foot guy on kick return, even though he's a linebacker. He's really athletic, but not in the way you'd want speed wise for a kickoff player.
Yeah.
But he would just watching him on kickoff was really amazing to me. He's not a fast guy. He's not getting down there first, but he's going past those up men. I believe they're called on kickoff. He's like sidestepping them like he's a ball carrier with his 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle. He's a very agile prospect. He's very aware of what's going on in the defense, and I think that's kind of weird, not weird, but an odd trait for a 22-year-old to have. You'd think you'd see the 23, 24-year-olds come out with a better knowledge of the game, playing it for a year more. But
oh yeah,
I mean, he's definitely a wonderful prospect that I really hope doesn't get missed. I think he's earned his first round money, so I'm telling the Browns here to pay the man.
For sure.
Good stuff.
Next up, I believe we have Chance Jets, and here we have, Alex already picked him, but I don't care. You guys got saved this draft. Like, O-line was our filler picks every other mock draft. We didn't have O-line to fill.
This was the first offensive lineman off the board for me. And,
me too.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's like I don't. And honestly, like when you have this few, it makes them almost more interesting. It's like, wow, there's actually O-line, and like
I mean, different mock drafts, you're like, yeah, this guy could have O-line. This guy, you're like Oprah handing out offensive linemen.
O-line. It's like, oh, I don't know what to mock you. O-line. You can always help.
But here we get to assign Madison Hilton to the Jets.
I think I could see him going earlier, like Alex said, just because people, even though I don't think
people might be looking at this draft class and seeing, oh my God, there is one offensive lineman.
Also, look at our team needs. Like, you can see it over here. O-line.
I see 2, 3, 4 teams that don't have some form of offensive line in their team needs.
And so, like, I could see him going a lot earlier. I think people with their first pick of the Madden don't want to go O-line just because it's a little boring,
A thing I did think about here, instead of the dual air raid offense for the Cardinals, I thought maybe instead of them going Haskins here, they could dip on O-line.
That's tempting.
I just love the dual wide receiver.
Yeah, I think like you have the chance to go double dip with receivers.
He's very good at what he does.
I think Hilton in other drafts might be like the 4th or 5th O-line off the board, and so I think you have to be patient with O-line.
He definitely picked a great draft to be the only great offensive lineman. I have him here at 24 because I think there's better players overall. But if you think you need offensive lineman, Hilton is the way to go.
Yep.
I think anyone outside of the top 10 could probably take him and smile at the end of the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
And who did you have going here, considering you already had him gone?
Yes, I had Kevin Ailman, who is, again, like a lot of one-ofs in this class. He is the only tight end.
I find interesting.
That's worth the first-round consideration.
I had him going to the Chiefs at 18. You had Hilton going to the Chiefs at 18. I have Hilton going to the Jets at 24. You have Ailman going to the Jets at 24. So it's like we swapped the picks.
Yep, and our reasonings are very similar. He's not necessarily that good, but he is the best, and he fills a need. He's good. He's good. He just, there's better players.
He's not generational.
But if you don't have a need, yeah. And so you have just the one tight end.
We do like you as a prospect. This is pure analytic.
Yes.
I like
And he
him.
fills a need for the Jets that they want to have essentially,
Mhm.
because their starting
I
tight
don't
end is
believe they have a
old.
QB. Oh yeah, you have Ailman here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely have quarterback listed in need, and like I said with my Ailman pick, he's a great big target
Mhm.
for any quarterback.
Yeah, Ailman's pretty killer. I like him a lot.
And he's the type of guy you can go drink a beer with after the win. You
Yes.
know, if you fail, you can say.
Know who I'd like to
Smash.
get a beer with? I like to get a beer with Brian or the Texans.
Oh yeah.
And here I think Texans. Uh, I don't like this crop of middle linebackers this draft. It's tough for me to find like one I just love. And so I think here you go take an outside linebacker with Devin Clemens and move him inside because of his, like, as Josh was saying, he tackles. Tackles well. And I think in the middle, he would be very sufficient at, just being that guy. And I just see him fitting well, way better at middle linebacker than anyone else that played middle linebacker in college in this draft.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I think you and I both have Devin Clemens
Mhm.
going here. Again, he's the one like linebacker that can possibly fit in as a middle linebacker. He's got good tackling, good awareness. Like Josh said, he's got one of the best awarenesses for being so young, and has that young spry legs for
he's going to
agility.
turn in. I think he's going to be that Sean Lee level talent, where he's not the
Yes.
flashiest of players, but when you need a tackle made, he's making that tackle.
For sure. I think, yeah.
Uh,
Good dude.
Actually, moving on to older players, I think we all went middle linebacker here technically. If you guys
Mhm.
going Clemens middle,
I'd play him at middle
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I was
it's a
Brian.
switch to
oh,
middle.
so I actually have an actual middle linebacker going here. Not because I think Clemens is a bad player, but I already have him gone 2 picks before to the Browns.
Mhm.
I have DeAndre Drake here. He is one of the best combines, I believe, for middle linebacker,
Yeah.
rating 6.9. Um,
Nice.
if you can't get Clemens, I think the slightly older DeAndre Drake is still, excuse me, still a wonderful pick. He hits a lot harder than Clemens does, mainly because he's 24 pounds heavier and 4 inches taller. He's
Mhm.
such a better build to be that typical run stopper middle linebacker you think of. And he's tackling just as good as Clemens, but he's older. He's not as fast, and I believe he's not as fast. But he's just
Mhm.
the actual. I think DeAndre Drake is the run stopping middle linebacker in this draft.
Yeah. I like. I'm.
Again, he's a projected late fourth. I think he's more of a early mid second. But if you
Mhm.
need a middle linebacker, I think Drake is not a
Sure.
unreasonable reach here for the late first.
Sure. 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 Next, we have the Saints, Nathan. And Nathan, he's in an interesting position because if you look at his position of needs, every one of them is basically sapped, I would say. At least as of
Yep. No O-line,
126.
no
All the good
QB, no
cornerbacks are gone. All the good linebackers are gone. All the O line. Well, there
Yep.
was barely any O line to begin with. So, and like,
one O-line.
so, I think here you just make a move for the future. You see, hey, my running back is getting a bit up there in age. You get Felix Short, who can, as a rookie, play a different role in that offense as a receiving back. They can be a good duo together with one taking things out, like taking catches, while the other taking the bulk. Kill that running back before you don't have to pay him anymore, and it's not your issue anymore. So run the old guy in the ground while he mentors Felix Short.
Yeah, yeah. You and I both we have the Saints going Felix Short,
I
which
think
isn't
we all
again
do.
Yeah,
a
we
big
all
need.
agree on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the biggest need, but nothing else is really there. and it plans him for the future.
And
It's a
just,
good
he's
pick
good.
that plans him for the future.
Like,
definitely the New Orleans way.
he's really fast too. I like him a
The
lot.
fact that the Saints were only a couple games away from the Super Bowl, like,
And
And
I mean,
we saw a lot of the running backs in the NFL playoff have monstrous receiving games.
yes,
Felix Short can definitely play that role as well, as he did at Syracuse.
yeah, it's not the most exciting just because it's kind of a planning ahead pick, but planning ahead picks oftentimes work out the best because there's some foresight to them. Next up, who's this? This is Alex, right? Bolty Boys.
Yeah, Bolty Boys, Alex.
yes.
Bolty Boys, Alex.
Good joke. Good
very,
joke.
very
Say it again sometime.
I mean, I think we made it every time it's been available.
Exactly, yeah.
But
I definitely feel like Cardinals are going right into some sort.
right end. I agree. I like
I see Chris Bodden at right end.
Chris Bodden.
He's another one of those 5th round projected guys that I think is way better when you actually watch his tape and see what he can do. I see you both have Cedric Jackson, and
We do.
I honestly couldn't tell you who that is. I mean, the player card here says he's from Toledo.
Yeah.
I don't recognize him. So you guys can tell me what
Yeah,
you guys
both are
Cedric Jackson here.
I do have issues with Jackson. I don't think he's particularly. I think he's like a budget Vincent in a lot of ways. They both are speed
Vincent's
rush.
already a budget Bowden.
Right.
Or agreeing what you mean.
Yeah, but like they both don't have pass rushing moves, which is always a concern. Biggest reason why. Like they're both 23. They're actually quite similar. I don't like, or Vincent just has the combine that Jackson has an okay combine. Nothing that super stands out to me. But he's a very safe pick. He's a very safe D-line pick, and I like him. I think he gets the job done, even if he doesn't have as good of a finesse move as you want. Honestly, I'm curious. Like, I guess his strength isn't the greatest. He'd be a pretty decent run stopper too, I think, for being a speed rusher. For just looking at him.
I like Chris Bodden here for this pick because you guys have been saying it all draft. Youth. Chris Bodden's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Whereas Jackson's 23. And I look at Chris Bodden. He's on a Texans team. He's from a Texans program who wasn't known to develop their players after drafting him. And Bodden is a phenomenal tackler. He can run after guys, and he's a big run stopping defensive end, despite being called a power rusher his entire collegiate career.
Sure.
On screenplays in particular, he's really good at getting off of the block off of the right tackle mainly. And he blew up screenplays. I mean, this man caused 2 fumbles in 2 different games.
Yeah.
His hit power is insane for a defensive end, and I think that the Chargers defense, who already have a phenomenal left and right end, they can let Chris Bodden learn from these generational edge rushers that are already in the team program, and I think Bodden can become the next Charger defensive superstar.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be. I mean, obviously it's your pick. I'm sure. I believe that you're not smoke screening. I think
my smoke screen was actually Cassidy Fitzsimmons.
Ooh.
He's a middle linebacker from Illinois.
Nice.
That was my smoke screen pick. I literally sorted by overall and went 3 up, and I saw this dude's name is Fitzsimmons, and I thought that was too funny to not put in a mock. So, if I can, Cassidy.
We had a student teacher actually with the last name Fitzsimmons.
That can be mouthful to say.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Reinbold's student teacher.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because you would call him Fitzbold.
It was Fitzbold. That's right. Yeah,
but
his
actual name's Fitzsimmons. Yeah.
Yep.
Either way, it's
Okay,
a
thank
real
you.
last name.
It
It's
is
a
a
real
real
last
last name.
name.
There we
Next
go,
up,
I get a
we
blast from your pack.
That was a good dude. That was a good ship. That was my first ship. It's
the
bold.
two gray grind bullets. That's doxing.
Yeah. Yeah, don't
um,
look it up.
yeah, please don't look up our high school teachers. That's what you guys want to
Oh,
know.
Salsa's here. Hi, Salsa.
Hi,
Oh,
Salsa.
salsa.
You want to come back? Oh, wait, no, you can't come back. We
Yeah,
already killed it.
salsa. Your
Shit.
previous team made the Super Bowl. Yeah, we were like, no offense, we
Against
were
a
cheering
very great
against them just because we're like,
I am definitely hearing against you, Salsa. My apologies.
because we didn't want the AI to win.
Yeah.
If
But the
you
fact that it
would
made it
that,
was so
I
funny.
would have gracefully
If it was
taken
you, I would have hoped it was a good game. I don't know if I would have cheered. Oh, that would have been tight. I love Chris too. I love both of you. It would have been a tough decision. I guess I would pick
finally been
salsa.
able to
I think I
cheer
would
for
pick
Salsa, so
yeah
I would have cheered.
salsa
I would have cheered
because
for Salsa.
I don't like the Bears in real life, so I think that's the
As a
edge.
former rival, I would have been like, finally, I can cheer for him. I don't have to cheer against like Jamaria Williams or anything of that nature.
I hope you're enjoying your AGML retirement, free from
Yeah.
Madden.
somewhere.
Next up we have Brent though, the Rams. And I think here, actually, I like this pick a lot for Brent, who I picked. I picked Nick Whitehead, who, in a lot of
Yes.
ways, I was gushing over. Oh, wrong pick. I copy pasted. Whitehead in a lot of ways is actually more polished than Bernard Stewart. I love Stewart more by a long shot because of a lot of things. Whitehead's probably in a few departments a little more polished, just because out the gate. I think that quickly changes after a few weeks in the pros. I think Bernard Stewart just skyrockets past Whitehead in terms of ability, but out of college, I think Nick Whitehead's pretty decent, and he's a run stopper. Combine's okay. It's pretty standard run stopper, but nowhere near as exciting as Stewart.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with Whitehead as well. It's just like he's your bog standard run stopping defensive tackle. He's got good speed though.
Yeah.
He can definitely keep up and get off the line and keep up with running backs if they get through the second level.
And Josh.
Yeah, I think you guys said it pretty well. He's a faster DT who can definitely make those plays. I can't really say much more about him than you guys got.
And then
Sure.
Yeah, not too exciting, but a solid run stopping defensive tackle might make the difference for this Rams team, who made it fairly far into these playoffs. Just getting better at that run defense can really help. It's dumb, probably John Madden sounding, but it's true. Next up, we have Giants. I believe this is now Mike.
Yes.
Staying in the East, the NFC East, but not the Eagles no more. And I have him here going another defensive tackle, 2 DTs in a row after not going one till since number 4 overall. And I have Devin Nash, and I see a lot of Devin Nash with Whitehead. I think the biggest difference is Nash is not quite as refined at tackling. I think that's the biggest difference. But I like Nash a lot here. I think he's just, he's pretty fast too, if that matters. So if he ever gets his hands on that ball, and he might have the chance to go the distance, get those oxygen masks out for him after that touchdown. But he might outrun a few people that, might be surprised that he can run that quick. Not as quick as, Stewart, though.
No.
Let's see, Stewart run, what did Stewart run?
Go ahead, Josh.
I have Gary Martin here as a pick.
Ooh.
He is an Ohio State power rusher at DT as well. I want to point out that this DT at the age of 21 has comparable power moves to one of the best in the draft class.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to point out that this is a 300-pound 21-year-old with these power moves. I want to also point out that he has 37 reps on the bench press, which I think is the tied for highest among
Uh,
DT. Probably amongst the highest in the draft classes. DT
um, yeah, it's tied with Stewart.
tied with Stewart, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
he is a phenomenal in your face. He can make plays. He's going to be pushing against the double teams he'll probably get if you play him at nose. He'll be pushing back those two NFL linemen that are pushing into him. And you don't have to take him out during passing downs because he has a phenomenal power rush move, and he's going to make some offensive linemen move one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm gonna have the second O line come off the board in Mac Maloney, who's a we're getting kind of light on first round talents, and everything else about him. He's 21. He's got great strength comparative to his class, and also like 36 is very good. 36 is up there with just any class, honestly, and he's very fast. Again, he's a pass blocker, just like Hilton was, and his abilities show that. I think he might be better than his grade is, and I think right here for the Giants, whoever their quarterback is, because again, the Giants currently have no quarterback on their roster, just like the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs. Mac Malone is going to help protect him, whoever that may be, probably a rookie.
Right. Now, next up, we have Dustin, the Steelers. And here, we have actually a variety of picks. I have him going infamous edge rusher, but now turned edge defender, Chris Long. And I think Chris Long, he's O-line. He's, for being this one of the earlier, Alex, you don't have him off yet, but like for having him going like one of the first O line off the board, it's probably not that good. Like as like the second O line off the board, but for this draft, I think he's probably about the second best. Um, Very good impact block. Like he'll open up holes. I feel like for that running back. Like he just makes an impact right away. And I don't know, O line not exciting, but I think at this point, like just helping with your O line development might push you ahead of everyone else in the league just because it's a need.
For me, I have the Steelers going with defensive tackle Jerry Martin, who is one of the stronger defensive tackles. Josh brought up uh, him as well last time in comparable with Stewart. 21 years old, great power move, great tackling, great pursuit. I don't necessarily understand that he's not a first round talent. I don't see
Sure.
it. I think he is a first round talent, which is why he's going here.
I think a lot
And
of
I'm excited to see and curious to see why he isn't graded that way, because everything that I'm seeing right now shows me at least a late round, if not higher than that,
Mhm.
talent.
one of my biggest concerns with Trey Martin, and I love him, is that he is a nose tackle who hasn't shown the correct aptitude for setting blocks. Yes,
Sure.
he has the power to get through the offensive lineman, but he's not the fastest guy, and I
No.
think running backs just kind of see him and bounce out. He definitely filled a more specialized role in Ohio
Yeah.
defense. He's just such a weirdly built player that I think that's where a lot of the media is bagging on him and not being a late second pick.
Sure.
He's a very one-trick pony kind of guy for a first-round
If he can
talent.
get back there all the time, dang, I'll take it. Especially interior pressure.
I agree. I think he's the first
Interior
late,
pressures broke this Madden too.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't come out and gun against this guy, you snap the ball, and suddenly the center is in your face again. I mean,
Yep.
how do you counter that?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a wide receiver going here. This is one of my personal favorite picks. I didn't want to lock him
This is your 7th wide receiver.
It is. I am aware of that. I like this wide receiver a
Almost a
quarter, yeah.
He is Leon Newton of Louisville. He's
Sir
22,
Leon Newton.
235 pounds. He has 20 reps on the bench press, which is second best in the class. And he just catches everything. He has hands comparable to the top 4 guys. And the only knock on him is he's not the greatest of route runners. But Louisville's offensive line never really gave their shot to have him run routes. He was always more of a, oh crap, there's pressure, throw it to him, and he just never dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a team that if you missed out on the first pick, like the Steelers have right here, and you still have a need at wide receiver, Leon Newton's going to be a very great pick.
For sure. Next up is the penultimate pick, it looks like.
Oh boy.
It is Jay Franklin. This is I think it's Doug. I was pronouncing it before the league do GM, but I think it's Doug. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. If you're listening to this, please correct me if I'm wrong, so I don't ever say it wrong ever again. I said that wasn't going to be the best pick, and maybe it's not the best pick. It's probably not the worst pick, though. I've definitely mocked a million times worse picks here at 131. Like, 131's usually complete garbage. Like, maybe it's okay. I think this guy's very serviceable, and that's a compliment for 131 mocks at this point. I think here Jay Franklin, he's a running back. He's a power back out of Oregon, and the biggest knock on him is he's not the fastest. He does not cut on a dime. This guy actually cuts on a nickel, maybe even a quarter. Like, come on. It's not good, but I think the biggest thing, this dude just, like, picks up the first down. Like, he might be, like, a better Matt Asiatas from what I'm looking, and, like, he'll get you a few yards, and he'll just...
first-round pick.
Oh, yeah. But, I think, like, though, like, a consistent back that can just run it up the middle and just push through everyone, it's... it has some value. I think here it might, like, you saw how well that running back worked. Like, imagine just
it brings a tear to your eye.
Like, just that, but better. Like, an actually good running back. And I think this guy can be a decent one. I don't think, like, again, agility and speed might not all be there, but if with that trucking and power, like, he's a strong dude. He'll just push through everything, and I think he'll be an interesting player. Like him decently.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I who fell victim to the Tennessee Titans running attack in the AFC playoffs also mocked them a running back. But instead of going for the power back like Tyler did, I went for the shifty, really hard to tackle, elusive back, Tremaine Henley, out of Washington State. Go Cougars.
Nice.
Henley has the best juke move out of any running back in the draft. His jukes are the cleanest, are the most efficient, and it really helps him break tackles. And I think that really showed if you looked at like at least half of his college tape that he just if he didn't juke a guy out, he broke the tackle. If he didn't break the tackle, he juked him again and it worked. He is relatively known for being the kind of stretch back of Washington State, where they didn't necessarily run a lot of spread, but they ran a lot of single bag, dual tight end heavy checks. Getting for those tight ends to come out. So he does have a really good spin move that I just don't think correlates well to the NFL game right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the combination of his juke, break tackle, juke again, I think is going to be a problem for the AFC North division, or
Sure.
not North, but the AFC South. I think it's where the Titans are. I think it's going to be another horrible running back to run over the Chargers, not me. Great defensive line come playoffs.
If you want it. I have the Titans going Dion Meeks, who, while the Titans have two superstar linebackers on the outside, they have no youth.
Mm-hmm.
Their right outside linebacker is 30. Their left outside linebacker is 32, and their guys below them are all 26 or higher.
For sure.
Dion Meeks adds youth, adds speed, adds quickness, and is smart. He has great awareness coming into the game for a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's going to probably be the heir. He will be the heir to that outside linebacking threat that the Titans have put together and how they got to the Super Bowl. I think right now the team that they have, they don't need an impact player right now. They're pretty set to return. They made some very good free agent moves.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not prepare for the future when Brown and LeBlanc fall off eventually and retire?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Meeks was a player that I missed on the Michigan defense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, no, yeah, I like him.
And finally, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Now, finally, we have the Super Bowl winners, Chris, Bears, the Bears, and here, I think Alex had him going a bit earlier, but we're going right guard Mac Malone out of Boise State, and I was watching some Boise State film, and they actually had this trick play that the coach ran, where he actually would check in as an eligible receiver and run a post route. They called it the post Malone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I do believe I recall seeing that trending on Twitter.
Dang.
But no, Malone, he's good interior pass blocker. And honestly, one of the better athletes out of this limited O-line class. Probably the best athlete O-line I've seen, and which is probably why you pick him. And he can open up some passes. I think here.
That is definitely a reason I picked him.
I think here he's just a smart pick.
I don't believe we'll be seeing any Post Malone in the NFL game.
Probably not.
I
Too
mean,
risky.
We have seen some O-line take tight end snaps.
But yeah, like this dude, he ran 5 seconds, but he's still one of the fastest O-line.
Yep. Shows how deep this class is.
I mean,
pretty agile for an offensive lineman too.
I mean, Chris Long wasn't even the ballpark as him.
Me.
You good?
Oh. Okay. So another thing with Mac Malone, one of the things I think he fell in this draft for, is he goes to Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Boise State, I don't think we even talked about any first round pass rushers that Mac Malone might have faced or any DTs.
Sure.
I think that would hurt him a bit. But like you said, I think he's a player who's ready to step into a role for a team. Maybe not right away, but I mean, the Bears already have a squad that can win it, so
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
why not add a little flair to the offense?
Yeah, and I have them going with Chris Long, who you guys had going before Malone, and I don't see him. I don't think he's strong enough to be isolated on the outside. And also, they have a good right tackle already. The Bears have a very good right tackle.
You can
What
move him
they're missing
around.
is exactly. I think he slots into guard. I think that's where he's gonna be very good. He's got good impact block. He's a
He's
good
6'8",
run
340.
blocking.
Yeah, he's a big.
He's 340, 6'8". As a guard, that's insane.
That is
He's just
ginormous
not
for a
strong
guard.
enough. He's not quick enough. He's not
Sure.
fast enough to be isolated against an end. But he can match up one-on-one against tackles with center help. And he would replace he would replace the starter of guard on the Bears right now, who is their weakest position of that offensive line. That is fairly good by our standards around the league.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the first round. Overall, I mean, probably a little pretty deep actually. Like, I mean, these start to fall off towards the end, but if you've listened to these before, these are actually a lot better. Last
Really
few
good late
picks,
round, in my opinion.
like last 8 picks are actually way better. Like, there's some picks in that last 8. It's like, wow. Like, Hilton's actually pretty good. Jackson has some potential. Whitehead I like a lot. Martin is really interesting. I think here it's gonna be a fun draft to start this thing off. Some people are gonna get some fun picks. But yeah, that'll about do it. It's been a good mock. Thank you guys for listening, and have a good night.
Thank you guys for letting me come ramble on
Good
here.
luck.
Yeah,
Always
good
fun.
luck with the draft. Good luck with the rest of free agency. Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, go Bolt.